Hey MGTOWs, this is Vention. I'm in a secret place. I can't really tell you where, but it's a couple of states away from from where I usually live. The camper worked pretty darn well, except for one problem. I dropped the camper down a little too low when I dismounted it, and I ended up snapping off the generator exhaust pipe. So I'll either have to get that welded or replace the muffler, and assuming I can get it. But with all of the supply problems we're having in our economy, it's conceivable that I might have a hard time finding parts for Onan generators. So that is a possible problem. So interesting things in crypto. We've had a pretty serious crash in Bitcoin over the last couple weeks, but I think that this morning it looks like we had a really sharp crash down to like 30,000, and then it looks like it's bounced, and it looks like it's climbing out the other side now. I'm kind of thinking that we're through the big huge crash, and we're going to be going into recovery mode. And when Bitcoin starts really stepping up, a lot of people who have been in other currencies, such as like either Tether, or where they, it's a stable coin, or those who have actually made good money on cryptos like Cardano, might want to sell into Bitcoin and enjoy the recovery run up of Bitcoin. As far as the trip goes, but anyway, I'm fine at 30,000, because I've been buying Bitcoin back in 2015, as I was screaming about it to everybody, and and I got some of those cheap Bitcoins back then, about $500 or $600 each, and then in the big huge virus panic that we had last year, the price got slammed down to down to 3,000 something, and I waited till it started climbing out the other side, a time like right about now, and the charts looked very much like they look now. Anyway, so I got a number of Bitcoins for $4,500 each, within, give or take $20 or something. And so basically those Bitcoins more than paid for all the cancer treatments and all the cancer surgeries I needed back in 2020. So as far as the cancer thing goes, my cancer thing, during this trip, I've had problems with, I think it's hypoglycemia. I've been like there have been times I've been driving and I've felt like I was about to fall asleep. So I ended up getting some, like Arby's or something like that. Not Arby's. Yeah, it was Arby's. I had a Arby's roast beef sandwich, and man, it was so salty. Either my tastes have changed or the food has changed, one or the other. If you want to call Arby's food, they say it's roast beef, but it's actually this goo that they mold into something that looks like roast beef. So, yeah, there's that. um, Other than that, on the trip, the camper worked flawlessly. Um, I'm going to gross you out and give a little bit of a trick, or a hack on how to, um, have your gray and black water tanks not stink terribly, right? Basically, if you have a normal situation and you treat your black water tank like you treat a normal flushing toilet in a house, um, then basically it can really start to smell bad. Um, and give it like maybe a week, unless you want to put those horrible fucking chemicals, those horrible Porta John, horrendously artificial, just, man, they reek so bad that I think that crap smells less offensive than that artificial stuff that they put in the black tank. So I don't use it. So my hack, it's one of the things I've learned while I was studying, while I'm looking into permaculture, right? I can't say that I'm a student of permaculture because I've never had a permaculture design course. I've just been sort of an outsider, really looking very interested, but I've never really been a participant, which is something I hope to change fairly soon. But anyway, one of the tricks for handling human waste is do not mix feces with urine, because basically when you get those two things together, the high nitrogen aspect of the urine combined with the crap, the fuel of the crap basically cause bacteria to just go nuts, and then you get the stink, right? So at risk of grossing you out, what I do is I empty my colostomy bag into the toilet, sure. But I do not urinate into the black tank. So what I do is I take a bottle, pee in the bottle, and then dump it down the bathroom sink, right? And that sends the urine into the gray water tank instead of the black water tank, and thus the two things never mix. So you basically don't get that horrendous, hideous smell. There have been situations when I was working as an engine guy where we'd have an RV in, and the engine was screwed up, and then it may have arrived on a hook or something, and probably through no fault of their own, the tanks were never dumped before it arrived at the shop. And then it'd be inside the shop, and you'd be working on the thing, and then when you'd walk in there, you'd like move the vehicle a little bit, and then you'd hear the black water tank go bloop, and then, man, it would release a stench of absolutely legendary magnitude. So it would really behoove us in those situations to really double down on our efforts to get that vehicle fixed and out of the shop. So if you ever want to get some some work done fast on an RV, if you happen to have one, you can basically don't dump the tanks for a week, then put it in the shop, and then they'll hurry to get it done. Well, that's my point of view as a mechanic. Anyway, the trip has worked out very well. I'm a couple of states away from where I usually am, and basically it's a situation where there's a house that has to be sold that is going to be involved in an inheritance, and I had to help a MGTOW friend of mine um, get a bunch of crap out of the house that he was sort of responsible for, and it involved breaking up a bunch of furniture and and then hauling it off to the dump, and as well as a bunch of other garbage. And so I pulled in and dismounted the camper, and I'm currently dismounted, sitting on the jacks, and basically what we would do is, well, we broke apart a pool table and, amongst other things, a pool table and an old jukebox, and it was all water damaged. And and basically, man, those jukeboxes are, no, not those pool tables are heavy. It seems that they're made out of this machined rock that's like maybe that thick, and there were like 3 big panels of it, and steel supports for the heavy ass thing, and my goodness, that thing was crazy heavy. So neither of us are very strong, because we got gray in our beards and stuff. So we just disassembled it, unscrewed everything and pulled those 3 panels, those big rock slabs out, and just broke them up, and then loaded them in the truck, and then we made a couple of dump runs, and yesterday we finished, and today I'll sweep out the bed of the truck and reload the camper. I got lucky the other day. I mean, I just went right between the jacks with the back of the truck and aimed it very well, and went right in, and without bumping or getting it misaligned, and fit like a glove. And one try, one back up, and boom, I was right in. Every once in a while you get lucky. Practice. A lot of these people who live in truck campers, I'm subscribed to several channels that like a married couple living in a truck camper, or single people living in truck campers, but basically some of them never dismount their truck camper. They just keep it as an RV, and then they don't have access to the truck. But me, I kind of got lucky. I was able to put the tailgate of the truck in the back seat area. I have the back seats removed, and then basically there's room to put it in there and close the doors. So awesome. So now I'll dismount the tailgate, throw it in the back seat area, reload the camper, and then possibly begin moseying home today, or possibly take a day off and kick back, and maybe go to that nice steakhouse. The local MGTOW knows this amazingly good steakhouse, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And there's a lot that I can eat there that is low carb. So yeah. During the trip, I have fallen off the wagon a touch here and there, and it's enough to give me a little bit of a scare, because if I inhale like 95%, I get a slight amount of pain in my liver. So yeah, it's time to double down and go back to total low carb and be very serious about this shit, because this is my life we're talking about. So okay, MGTOWs, that's about all I got for you. Today I'm just going to, today I think I'll just load the camper, and then have an easy day and watch a bunch of YouTube videos, and then mosey on home probably tomorrow morning sometime. stop at a rest stop and camp overnight there, and then mosey back home. And that's the awesome thing about having a camper. You can just take your time, and you don't have to really just burn the road up to get where you want to go, because you got your sort of your home away from home right here, you know. Yeah, good times. Okay, MGTOWs, that's about all I got for you, and don't get married.